October 24th, 1935. Just after 10:15 p.m. A dim Newark tavern, smoke hanging low, glasses rattling as gunfire tears through the room. For shooters, dozens of witnesses, and one of the most feared men in America bleeding out on the floor, Dutch Schultz. By sunrise, New York knew one thing for sure. The man who'd terrorized the city for years was gone. But what happened after his death is where the real story begins. Because while everyone else celebrated, Bumpy Johnson was already counting moves. And according to some accounts, one sentence he delivered that week froze rooms full of mob bosses. Dutch Schultz didn't just run rackets. He ran systems. Numbers gambling alone pulled in an estimated $20 million a year, much of it flowing through Harlem. Protection money, unions, nightclubs, policy banks stacked with cash 6 days a week. Bumpy Johnson sat right in the middle of that machine, not as a boss in name, but as the man who kept Harlem profitable. He knew every block, every runner, every policy writer who could disappear with a week's take. And that made him dangerous. This wasn't personal. It was arithmetic. Schultz wanted Harlem locked down, obedient, predictable. Bumpy wanted autonomy and respect. And when Schultz died, the math changed overnight. Because power hates a vacuum. And Harlem was about to be renegotiated. Within 48 hours of Schultz's death, messages were moving. Not loud ones, quiet ones. According to people close to it, lieutenants from Schultz's old crew started floating questions. Who controls Harlem now? Who collects? Who answers when a policy bank comes up short? And behind those questions was a sharper one. What do we do about Bumpy Johnson? He was experienced. He was connected. He'd survived bounties, ambushes, prison time. And worse, he was respected by the neighborhood. That's when the envelopes started showing up. Plain brown paper. No names. No return address. Inside, nothing but a folded playing card. A single black spade. Some say it was a warning. Others say it was an invitation. Either way, Bumpy kept every one of them. But here's the twist. He didn't respond with muscle. He responded with timing. 3 nights after Schultz's death, Harlem sounded different. Jazz spilling from basements. Taxis idling longer than usual. Men talking softer, listening harder. Bumpy Johnson walked 12 blocks that night. No entourage. No Jerry. In his coat pocket, one of the cards. The black spade, edges worn from being unfolded too many times. According to one version of the story, the meeting happened in a back room above a restaurant just off Lenox Avenue. Another version places it in a quiet office downtown, neutral ground. Either way, the room was crowded. Representatives from multiple crews. Men who'd outlived their bosses. Men who spoke for families without saying their names. And they all had the same expectation. They thought Bumpy was there to beg, or threaten, or overplay his hand. That's when everything went wrong for them. Bumpy didn't raise his voice, didn't pace, didn't sit at the head of the table. He waited, let the room talk itself out. Then he reached into his pocket. He placed the playing card face down on the table. No flerisc, just flat. The room went quiet. According to accounts, that's when he said the line. Short, cold, measured. Dutch charged you rent for Harlem. I'm offering ownership, but I don't sell twice. That was it. No sreds, no demands, no numbers. And somehow that was worse, because everyone in that room understood the math immediately. If they backed him, Harlem stayed profitable without war. If they didn't, Bumpy became unpredictable. And unpredictability is expensive. Word traveled fast. Bartenders whispered it while wiping glasses. Bookies repeated it while settling slips. Cab drivers passed it from seat to seat like a rumor with teeth. Ownership, but he doesn't sell twice. According to some retired cops, emergency sit-downs happened within days. Short meetings, tight agendas, no votes, just nods. The message was clear. Harlem would run through Bumpy Johnson, with outside money respected but not obeyed. The envelopes stopped coming. And the playing card? Some say Bumpy mailed it back to one of the crews, untouched. Others say he kept it in a drawer, a reminder. Either way, no one tested him, because this wasn't a victory built on bodies. It was built on humiliation. They came expecting terms. He gave them structure. Years later, an old bartender claimed there was more to that night. He said the room was already decided before Bumpy walked in. That Schultz's death had scared everyone straight. But the bartender swore the playing card wasn't a warning at all. He said it was proof. Proof that Bumpy had been invited from the start, and let them sweat anyway. Some swear that's the truth. Others say it's Harlem mythology, polished with time. But everyone agrees on one thing. After Dutch Schultz died, Bumpy Johnson didn't grab power. He priced it, because respect isn't taken with bullets. It's taken when everyone in the room realizes you already won. And the next time someone tried to test Harlem, they remembered the card and chose a different table.